Well, good evening and a very warm welcome to a special program, Cricket Predicta on NewsX, powered by 1xBet. In yesterday's IPL clash, Rajasthan Royals continued their winning streak by defeating Royal Challengers Bangalore by 6 wickets. Sadanand Vishwanath, the man in the house today who joins us, and we'll be talking to him, and also David Brooks, who happened to show his grievance about the match yesterday as a big Bangalore supporter. This is the fourth consecutive win for the season for Rajasthan Royals, while Bangalore suffered their loss straight away, tallying their fourth defeat overall, opting to bowl after winning the toss. By Mansingh Stadium in Jaipur, Rajasthan restricted Bangalore to 183 for 3 in 20 overs. In response, Rajasthan successfully chased down the target with 4 balls to spare. With Jos Buttler, David Brooks is happy as an Englishman when he sees Jos Buttler leading the charge with an unbeaten century, scoring 100 runs off 58 balls. Well, that was yesterday. In today's IPL, the double header between Mumbai Indians, again the target is set for 235 for Delhi Capitals as they score 234 runs in 20 overs, with Romario Shepherd's impressive hitting in the last over, where he scored 39 runs of 10 deliveries. Tim David also contributed with 45 runs of 28 deliveries, forming an unbeaten partnership of 53 runs in the final 13 balls to spare. Rohit Sharma made 49 runs, Ishan Kishan added 42 runs, and Captain Hardik Pandya, yes, he's out of the woods. It seems he scored 39 runs of 33 deliveries. Well, somebody commented that Virat Kohli was slow when he scored that century with 60-odd deliveries. But is 39 of 33 deliveries a fast? We'll get to see. Akshar Patel took 2 wickets for Delhi in the second encounter. Lucknow Super Giants, they chase on. But right now, I'm going to get the man with the stats, the man with the golden gloves, and the man who made wicket-keeping fashionable in the 80s. Sadanand Vishwanath. Also joining us is Tanmay from Mumbai, David Brooks from London, and Stanley Chiozza from Zimbabwe. Sadanand Vishwanath, what do you make of yesterday as an RCB fan? Then I'll come to Tanmay.
Well, it's third consecutive defeat. We've lost 3 on the trot. Brilliant effort of Virat Kohli of 113 went in weight. But yes, 182 was a formidable score.
Yes.
But Jos Buttler has now become Josh Buttler. I think he's changed his name.
Jos the boss.
Yeah, he's now become a Josh player. So now he's become Indianized. Yeah, terrific innings from Jos Buttler in his 100th match. He notched up a century when there was just 1 run to win, and he pulled Cameron Green over the mid-wicket fence for a 6. Well played Jos Buttler, well played Sanju Samson, and a fantastic victory for Rajasthan Royals.
Well, absolutely. A good man that was never supposed to be on the losing side. David Brooks, isn't that what you said last night? Almost sobbing on the phone.
Yeah, if ever someone didn't deserve to be on the losing side, it's Virat Kohli. I mean, I know there's been some social media comment about strike rates and the rest of it, but he's having to take responsibility for scoring the bulk of the runs due to the failure of the 2 Aussies. And you can't blame Virat Kohli for that. He wanted to bat deep, and I think his century was excellent. It's taken away from the attention on Jos Buttler's innings and how good a return to form that really was. Because there's someone who's been in the doldrums who would have dreaded the return to India, the scene of the dismal World Cup campaign. And the relief that you could see for putting that behind him and scoring that century yesterday. I mean, he'd almost been forgotten in the controversy around Virat, who doesn't deserve to be blamed for that innings. I mean, it was a masterful innings. And, I described it as a batting masterclass, really. And he can't win on his own. And there's some big questions to be asked of Faf du Plessis, the captain, relating to the rest of the batting, the rest of the middle order. And the bowlers. I mean, the spinners look very hittable. The impact player that came in went for a lot of runs. If ever a man did not deserve to be on the losing side,
absolutely.
I mean, you've talked to me before about Brian Lara's reign in West Indies when he was the main batsman. Maybe the sheer success of Kohli and the class of Kohli is having an impact on the rest of the players who can't live up to that.
Absolutely.
So
let me
maybe an issue.
let me shift my focus to a man who was in the dugout and who's perhaps known Virat Kohli personally and has seen and played against him. Tanmay, do you think cricket is cruel, or is it the fault of the guys who are sitting on the table at the auction who don't know how to pick up a team and they don't even have a bowler, forget a pacer or a spinner to save their skin? Tanmay, just be brutally honest and your views about Virat Kohli.
I think it's a mixture of all those things. It takes a lot of time to put up a team together. And Virat has been with RCB since the inception of this tournament, and obviously he'll feel hurt. But you've also got to look at the ideology that RCB has. They've always backed this idea of having foreign players, foreign batters in their top 3, top 4. When I was there was AB, there was Gale, and then Yuvraj Singh was there, and Virat Kohli. That made our batting lineup. But as the years have gone by, they've sort of stuck with that mantra, and it's not paying dividends. And you've got to look at their strategies as well. To be very honest with you, a lot of good things that are happening with teams that are on top of the table right now have a very good core of domestic players. You've got to understand, you field 7 Indian players, domestic or international Indian players,
right,
in a team of 11. That is where your core those are your match winners. When you have international players come in, if they don't do well, you can change them. But your core players your core performance have got to be the Indian players. Something that is lacking. They let go of Yuzvendra Chahal in the main auction. Then they brought the Sri Lankan spinner Hasaranga.
Yes.
And they let go of him as well. And suddenly they find themselves wanting in all sorts of departments. And it's an overall
how do you
concern.
call it a strategy when you lose for the last 16 years? You haven't had your chance to put hands on the trophy cabinet. How do you call it a strategy?
Look, all these questions that
I know you're not the right person to answer. But in the dugout, don't you guys discuss that how impractical these guys are who are sitting in the auction table and doing high fives every year, but still manage to get the wrong team when you actually play on the in the center? What do you have to say about that? Don't you guys discuss?
No, obviously there are discussions. There are players that are backed and they just don't pull off. I just feel that there are enough quality players out there that don't get picked. And you've got to have the right eye. Over here, us as panelists discuss it and be honest about it and criticize, and rightfully so. You can't, go 16 years with a tournament having not won it, especially with the squad they've assembled over the years. And especially now, it's starting to show its colors, and it's just not us. After the game yesterday, I think quite a few fans, got on the social media and around about, in front of TV, and they were just showing their discontent about how the team is being run.
Absolutely. Stanley Chiodza, we now shift our focus to today's match because we just wanted to get the side of RCB fans and someone who's played for RCB or who's played for at the highest level. And now getting your views. What's happening in the match today with Mumbai? There seems to be taking on from where the others have left. 234, big score. What do you think of it?
Well, finally, it looks like the batting of Mumbai Indians has finally kicked in. They were well short of runs this season.
Right.
We haven't seen the best of Rohit. He's still to kick in. Just short, a few runs short of what would have been a brilliant half century. But importantly, the return of that man, Surya Kumar Yadav, obviously came up with a
for zero, I guess.
How often does it so happen that Mumbai Indians post a big total like they did today and Surya Kumar Yadav scores a zero? The stats with regards to Surya Kumar Yadav is just impressive. Just look at the win ratio, for instance, and the number of matches that he has been involved in where he scores a 50 and the team goes on to win. So I think this is a timely return for a player, for Mumbai
Stanley,
to have a player like Surya
you
Kumar
seem to have a
Yadav.
lot of stats. Just throw some stats and let's make fun of the Delhi Capitals bowling as well. Why keep RCB as the solitary punching bag? Let's make fun of them as well. What do you think of the bowling department?
Of the bowling department of which team, I beg your pardon, Sunil?
Of Delhi Capitals.
Well, look, it hasn't really gotten. I mean, look, they won the toss, obviously looking to try and hopefully it's a spin-friendly wicket. Sometimes it can be slow. They were hoping to respect the Mumbai Indians, and I mean the stats are such that batting second is good. It's a good wicket to chase. However, look, there are days like this, you know, when the stats just don't add up, and then you start asking yourself what went wrong, you know. And but you've got to give credit to the batting lineup. And what an impact player someone like a Romario Shepherd is. 39 off 10 deliveries. I mean, there's no stopping somebody
What was
like
he
that.
doing?
It's like
I mean,
a train.
Southern and Vishwanath, what was Shepherd doing? Was he shepherding the team on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I think it was just his day, and kudos to the Mumbai Indians for having scored a formidable score. They seem to be back on track, and who knows, they might even make it to the playoffs.
Absolutely. David Brooks, are you happy with the way finally the bigger teams are coming into and cutting loose and showing their mettle rather than just cutting a sorry figure? Your views? Mumbai Indians.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Mumbai Indians winning today, and Hardik Pandya looked overjoyed by that partnership between Tim David and Romario Shepherd. I mean, Romario Shepherd is one of the, to me, that was a moment like Carlos Brathwaite that time when he won the World Cup with that 1 over. You know, it was just that moment where everything clicked for Romario Shepherd. Many's the time he's come in for West Indies and not done that. But it all clicked for him today. It was an amazing display, 32 off that last day.
David, you're an expert with West Indies Caribbean cricket. Just take us through. The team loses all the matches. The team is absolutely doesn't even qualify for the World Cup. Just imagine, 6 months ago, they didn't even qualify. And today, you find their spurts coming out and just doing magic on the field. What is the reason for that? What is the recipe?
Two things, I think. The fact that it's T20, not the 50, is in West Indies' favour. And I think, actually, these individual players from West Indies, they enjoy playing in the IPL. That's where you see them at their best. They haven't got the pressure, the inter-island rivalry that exists when they play for the West Indies. They don't seem to be able to perform at their best, not in recent years. If you want to see the best of a West Indian player, and I include Andre Russell in this, and Nicholas Pooran as well.
Sunil Narayana as well.
I think they enjoy playing with the Indian players and the international players. I think this is a great tournament for here. They get appreciated. In the Caribbean, they get criticised. And there's all pressure from different islands all the time. Here, they get really appreciated for what they do. So if you want to see the best of a West Indian player, see them in the IPL.
Tanmay, we just have last question on the first match today. And then we move our focus on to the next match, which is equally important. Two big teams fighting it out. But what is your take on the game that you've seen, and you've seen the Mumbai Indians? And you're almost a Mumbaikar, Mumbai's a mulga.
You've got to understand one thing. You know, we are all praising Romario Shepherd and, you know, the sort of contributions everyone made. But he should have been starting from game one. You know, if you look at the first two matches, I think they just played with 3 international players. This man was specifically brought to do a specific job at that 8-9 where he could contribute with the bat. Same with Nabi. Nabi is a very, very experienced player. You know, I cannot believe Romario Shepherd and Nabi have not been in the starting 11 for Mumbai Indians. You know, they provide you so much of depth, not only when it comes to batting, but bowling. One more thing you've got to add today and have a look at, as brilliant as Romario Shepherd was and contributions all around, Delhi Capitals have given, I think, 14 extras, of which I think 12 were white balls. I'm not sure, but somewhere around there. That's 2 extra overs. So Mumbai has got this total in 22 overs, if you look at it. It's not 20 overs. And I think extras in this format can cost you a lot, something that I've seen today. You know, I think towards the death overs, there were quite a few white balls bowled. And they got penalized, rightly so.
You know, when you talk about those basic things about no balls, wide deliveries, and just sticking to the basics. I mean, this is an elementary school boy cricket that we need to be taught. But once you look at the dugout and see the number of support staff, don't you get dismayed, Tanmay, that what are these guys talking? I mean, first you and then Stanley, who's a coach himself and who's a strict coach as well. Tanmay, 30 seconds and then
Yeah.
we move on to Stanley.
Look, I think Ricky was very honest enough. He was very honest enough to say that he didn't enjoy what he saw, and I'm pretty sure today will be the same thing. It's sometimes it just happens when the ball starts flying around. You've got to keep your cool head. But it's, to be honest, at this level, with the professionals that are who played so many games, and it's just, I'm talking about it as a bowling unit. 14 extras is just too many in 20 overs.
Yes.
I mean, the game of margins, and forget even whether you win or lose today. At the end of the season, we played 14 games. Whether you want to qualify or not, the net run rate by a single run or a single wicket can change. Whether you go to top 4 or you don't.
Absolutely.
So you've got to be very careful.
Stanley, very quick comment on what Tanmay has said, and then we open the discussion for the second match. Very quick.
Well, for me, perhaps two things. Either people are expecting things to just happen instead of trusting the process, or look, there are days like this when, like exactly what Tanmay said, the ball is getting hit around, you quickly lose your focus, and all of a sudden, before you know it, things are going all over, So it's important that, like Ricky Ponting said, at this level of the game, players should be aware of this. And as a coach, it becomes difficult because you're out in the dugout, you can't really control things. And you just have to watch and wait for the debrief after the game.
Well, very interesting. We open our discussion to the second match right now. LSG versus Gujarat Titans, batters in focus. LSG has Nicholas Puran, who scored 146 in 3 innings with a strike rate of 175, which is very decent. 1 half century. As compared, Shubman Gill is on the other side with 164 runs, 4 innings, strike rate of 159. Do you think, Sadhanand Vishwanath, from your days to today, do you think a strike rate of 160 and 175 is what makes the batsman look impressive?
Absolutely. The strike rate is the key. And all these stars who are performing well in the T20 format have a tremendous strike rate. For example, Shubman Gill, Quinton de Kock, who seems to be batting with his dancing shoes on, and all the other superstars. They all have an amazing strike rate. That's what sets them apart from the ordinary players. The strike rate is the key.
David Brooks, you've got Nicholas Puran, you've got Quinton de Kock, as Sadhanand Vishwanath just pointed out, 139 runs, 3 games, 140 strike rate, 2 half centuries. He's picking up from where the World Cup he had left. KL Rahul, number 3, number 4, Stoinis. Are you completely satisfied with the pack that Lucknow Super Giants needs to put into their punch?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Tanmay made a good point about having a core of Indian batters. I mean, LSG don't really have that. So there is a reliance on Buran, de Kock, and Stoinis in that top order. But I think the form that Puran is in particular, he's the real danger player, I think, for me. And I'll be looking to him to lead the way for LSG today. I mean, there's a lot to like about both teams in the way they've acquitted themselves so far. But I think that top order of LSG is the one that's really firing. And I think the Justin Langer will be very happy with what he's seen so far.
Well, absolutely. Justin Langer, the man who's supposed to kick the dustbin boxes in the dressing room. I'm sure we'll see some stories, the back-end footage as well. Stanley Chiodza, Gujarat Titans, you have Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, Kane Williamson, although he hasn't arrived to the party as now. Rahul Tewatia smashed 23 runs of 8 balls with 3 fours and a 6 in the last game against Punjab. Are you satisfied with the way Gujarat has been creeping up the table?
Not really. I mean, for me, my only concern is that batting as well. I think it's heavily reliant on Shubman Gill, and I think it's a bit unfair. It's like the RCB kind of situation where only Sudarshan and Gill are the only 2 players with 100 runs plus in the top order, and somebody has to step up, because if Shubman Gill doesn't do the job for you on that day, then what's everybody else doing? I mean, David Miller after the injury, Kane Williamson, we know how he goes about things. He's not an explosive player. So I'd like to see Tewatia being given a bit more responsibility, perhaps bring him up the order, allow him that opportunity to bat long, because he's an explosive player. If he bats long, you know what he can do. He will score runs. So that's key for me, though.
Very valid point you made. Tanmay, we've spoken about the batting lineup. Now let's talk a little bit about the bowling lineup as well. Gujarat Titans, you've got an old fox in Mohit Sharma. 7 wickets in 4 innings. And he's one of the current leading wicket takers of the team. However, Rashid Khan, 12 wickets. Noor Ahmed is yet to arrive to the party. And Darshan Nalkande, one of the go-to bowlers, but still not at pace when you look at Mayank Yadav, Naveen ul Haq, Yash Thakur and Ravi Bishnoi. How do you match up the bowling between the two sides?
I think today with the match being played at Lucknow, in their home ground, the ground is very big. I think the bowlers are going to enjoy it, especially the spinners and fast bowlers. That both sides of the ground are fairly, it's a big hit. I expect Rashid to put up a performance. He's someone that ever since Hardik and Shami are missing.
Yes.
Hardik obviously gone to MI and Shami nursing an injury. I think a lot has come on the shoulders of Shubman Gill and Rashid. So I expect him to come and deliver with the goods and try to take some wickets and even chip in with the bat. As far as the other bowlers go, I think Nalkande, I was a bit surprised. He played the last game but only bowled the last over. He's one of very decent, someone I played with Vijay Hazare this season, and he also got me out. And he's a decent bowler. I was a bit surprised that he didn't bowl a few more overs in the game, the last game. He's a very good bowler.
Well, we are at the end of our program. I'm going to ask your prediction. I'll start off with you, Tanmay, since you're padded up. What's your prediction in the second match?
With the form LSG is in, I'll easily go with LSG.
Absolutely,
it's hard
the home
to
crowd.
overlook them.
The home conditions favouring them. And what about Delhi? Do you think they'll catch up with the Mumbai Indians? No.
It's hard, but it's not impossible.
No, not at all. You're going to give it a pass. David Brooks, I'm going to come to you. What's your second match predictor? And the first match, do you think Mumbai has just managed to make it?
Mumbai, definitely. The questions will be asked if they lose from this situation, so they should definitely win that.
Right.
I'm with Tanmay. I think LSG, given their run of form, can put to one side the fact that they haven't won the last, 3 encounters where the Titans have won this particular head-to-head. But I think they can put that behind them. They're in form.
Absolutely.
Puran's in form. And they've got that express pace of Mayank Yadav. Tanmay made the point before about the number of wides. And it's interesting, these are wides coming from bowlers trying to be defensive.
Absolutely.
They're not trying to get batsmen out. They're trying to bowl as wide of the crease as possible. Just get it in the blue line. And they're failing. And so, they're trying to restrict the scoring.
So, who's your favourite today? David Brooks, LSG or GT?
LSG to win today.
Okay, we have 2 in LSG and Mumbai, you already there. Southern and Vishwanath, the bowlers are bowling defensive and they're bowling wide. And these are the same guys who've been notching up like millions of dollars for an appearance. Your views, is it a time to go back to the wrist spinners that we've been talking in the last week? They come
the spinners
cheap
will be in the party.
and they're
They will come
impressive.
in the party. But all eyes will be on Mayank Yadav.
Yes.
Can he make it 3 in 3? Can he pick up 3 Man of the Match awards in
Yes.
the first 3 matches? That's the key point. And remember, Gujarat Titans are missing Mohammad Shami a lot.
Yes.
And most of the teams nowadays are beginning to play Rashid Khan very defensively. Rashid Khan is bowling very deep. He's bowling the 18th, 19th over.
Yes.
So I don't see Gujarat Titans making inroads with their bowling. I think LSG has the upper hand. Gujarat Titans need to tighten up. They need to add a little more sting to their bowling, and they need to get a little more runs.
Who's your favourite now for the second match? Second match favourite?
Definitely LSG.
Oh my
LSG
God. You've got a unanimous house here today. Is Mumbai going to make it today?
Certainly. I think they can even bounce back into the playoffs.
Great. We move on to the final part and the final guest here. Stanley Chiodza from Harare Sports Club. Just tell us, who's your favourite pick and do you think Mumbai has made it?
Oh, I'm going to go for the dark horses here. Somebody needs to support them as well. So I'll go for the Titans and I'll go for Delhi.
So, all right, we have a divided house here, but great to have you guys with your inputs, with your statistical analysis, and also deep insights of the game that you've played at the very top level. Well, that's all we had time for. Keep watching NewsX. We'll be back after a short commercial break.
For more such videos, Subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.